I hate starting off, it's the worst bit. This is my 12-month review of the GTOmega RS12. Falling off. This, on the other hand, I bought this in February 2023 as part of a bundle with my Prime Lite. It cost me about £100 extra at the time. I've noticed now on the website it's up to £200, but consider this review as if it was a £100 seat if you're buying it with the rig. The most important thing to note about this seat is it's not a sim racing specific seat, it's a gaming chair technically. So it's very padded, it's got lots of adjustability, but it doesn't have the most rigid features for sim racing specifically. So I'll go through that more in the pros and cons, but the key things to note is it's very adjustable. Apart from, I did add the track racer mounts to allow me to tilt the seat backwards. You can see that here. So I've got a separate video on this, but I set this at an angle so that the base isn't fixed level. Let's get into the pros and cons. In terms of the pros of the seat, it's really nicely padded, and I think the lumbar support that's built into it is really good. They also supply a lumbar cushion, which is ridiculously large in my opinion. I'm not sure why you would use it. I've never needed to, but the padding on the backrest is, whilst it's quite thick, it is also very firm. So it is very comfortable over a long period of use. Similarly with the base, it's very padded, and I think this has held up really well over the year. Along the edges you can see that it has frayed a little bit from where I've been sitting on it. I've probably sat in this for maybe 300 days of the year for maybe 1 hour a day, so I think for 300 hours of use this material has held up pretty well. I really like this material over a leather or a pleather material because it is a bit breathable and it is very comfortable to sit in. There's a fair bit of friction from the material against your clothing, so you're not sliding around and moving back and forth. So in terms of the different seat fabrics that they supply, I think that this material black is a really good choice. Something else that's really good about this seat is because it's quite wide on both the backrest and the base, it can accommodate lots of different people of different sizes. So it doesn't matter if you're quite skinny or quite large, you're almost certainly going to fit fine in this seat. GTOmega also includes a seat slider in the price, which is really good because a lot of companies charge extra for that. And with the adjustability of the slider and the back, you should be able to find a comfortable position for you. So the real downside about this seat for sim racing ultimately is it's not a sim racing seat. And because of that, you do get a bit of flex in the back. So while you're racing, it doesn't really bother me because I have my headphones on, but it can get pretty annoying for other people if they're just constantly hearing this squeaking. If you've got a firm brake pedal or you upgrade to a load cell, what you'll find is as you push the brake, you will feel flex through the back, and it's not too bad. I've been living with it for the past year, but you definitely will be aware of it. Probably a fair few inches of movement every single time you brake. You do get used to it, but it's a major downside of this chair compared to a bucket seat. In terms of the fit and finish, some people complain about these falling off, and the reason for that is because they're quite hard to fit in the first place. So what you have to do is you have to really push it in to make sure that it's very firmly set in there. Oh, I can't even do it. Like that. And now it's rock solid. So that is something that you'll see people complaining about online, that this falls off, but that's why, so it's not being correctly attached. This, on the other hand, is also a bit shoddy. There is this little screw under here, which allows you to tighten it up, but as I say, over a year of use, this just kind of got looser and looser. So in conclusion, I'm glad I had this chair for the past year to get into sim racing. It was great that it came with the rig. I didn't have to worry about whether it would fit or how to set it up. I don't think this chair is for everybody, and if you're serious about sim racing, I don't think it's the perfect option for you. It is very comfortable, and I think a lot of people will be okay with it, but it's very much average. And because of that, it's time for an upgrade. Put this on top. So stick around to find out why I drove a 5-hour round trip to one of the UK's biggest racing seat showrooms and had a look at some bucket seats there and what I chose.